The bunker's quiet tonight. Not the good kind of quiet. Not the you got the world to yourself quiet. No. This is the kind of quiet that feels like it's pressing in from all sides. The kind of quiet that has weight. The kind of quiet where you don't just hear it, you can feel it resting behind your eyes like someone draped a wet blanket over your soul. Even the static's off tonight. It's still there. It's always there, but it's wrong. Normally it's just white hiss, a safe sort of nothing. But tonight it's got a pulse to it. Slow. Inhale. Exhale. Like it's breathing along with me. Like the room's alive. Like it's not waiting for me to speak. It's deciding if I should. And in the corner, the old CRT map screen's glowing its sick green light over the far wall. That glow's the only illumination in here right now, and it's just enough to make the shadows look intentional, like they've been positioned. The map screen itself? Relic. Fossil. Tech corpse propped up on a stand like an exhibit in a museum nobody visits anymore. This thing still thinks Yugoslavia's on the map. Still swears Pluto's a planet. Still highlights Route 66 like it's a viral artery instead of a cracked souvenir road you only take if you've got too much free time and a fetish for the smell of dust and coffee pots that haven't been cleaned since the Clinton administration. The casing's yellowed. The glass has that old TV glare, the one that makes you see your own reflection even when it's lit, like it's reminding you, hey, you're here too. The machine hums constantly, not loud, just insistent. And here's the stupid part. The part I can't shake. When I leave this bunker, when I step out into the night, when the wind smells like wet concrete and the moon looks like it's thinking about falling out of the sky, I still let that voice tell me where to go. Like everyone else. Like a chump. Like we've all been hypnotized and we're just waiting for that calm, polite permission to keep existing. I've seen it out there. The obedience. People treating their GPS like it's a court order. I've watched them nose into construction zones with road closed signs lit up like Vegas marquees, and they'll still creep forward like maybe the laws of physics don't apply if the little animated arrow says keep going. I've seen them turn into dirt trails past unlit barns, into alleys where the air smells like copper and mold and something else you don't say out loud. I've seen them stop their cars in the middle of the road because the screen told them they were already at their destination, even if they were staring at an abandoned Kmart with weeds taller than the loading dock. And not once, not a single time have I heard anyone say, you know what? No, I think I'm gonna trust my eyes on this one. Because the GPS says it, it must be fine. And I get it, I do. It's the tone. That perfectly flat, perfectly calm tone. It's not friendly, it's not warm, it's not even neutral, it's inevitable. It's the tone of a priest reading the last rites or a doctor telling you the bad news is not that bad. The same tone a serial killer would use to say, trust me, and you do, because the map doesn't beg, it doesn't plead, it doesn't argue, it just says, turn left, and then you turn left. I've been on empty highways at 2 a.m. where the asphalt looks like black glass and the horizon is a deep bruise that never heals, and the only sound in the car is that voice. No music, no hum of other cars, just that voice, cool as liquid nitrogen, telling me the next turn like it's handing me the last page of a book I didn't know I was reading. And every so often, maybe you felt this too, there's a pause. Not a glitch, not lag, a pause. A little breath between the last instruction and the next one. Like the GPS is thinking. Like it's weighing its options. Like it's deciding if you're worth the effort. I've had it happen where the voice doesn't come back for a while. Too long. Long enough for you to start noticing things. That you're the only headlights in either direction. That the road you're on doesn't seem to match the one on the screen. That the mile markers stopped showing up 10 minutes ago. And when it finally speaks again, there's something in the way. It says, continue straight. Something that feels final. One night, this was years ago, but I think about it every time I get behind the wheel. I was driving through an industrial district after midnight, the kind of place where the air tastes like rust and the buildings all look like they were evacuated during some emergency nobody remembers. The GPS had me zigzagging between warehouses, making turns I couldn't keep track of. And then, without warning, it said, you have arrived. I looked around. No address, no business sign, just a single loading dot lit by one buzzing light with a slow, steady drip of water hitting the asphalt like a clock you couldn't turn off. And in that moment, I swear to you, I don't know why, but I felt like if I got out of that car, I wouldn't get back in. Like the map hadn't brought me somewhere, it had brought me to someone. And that's the thing. We act like the GPS is this passive tool. We think it's just a screen and a voice. But if you spend enough nights listening to it, you start to wonder who's really listening to who. Maybe it's learning, not just traffic patterns, you, your speed, your hesitations, how close you drive to the center line when you're tired, how often you stop for gas and which station you pick, what music you skip when you're in a bad mood, how you hesitate just a half a second longer at intersections in neighborhoods you don't trust. It's like having a travel companion that never talks back, never disagrees, just files everything away until it knows you better than you do. And when something knows you that well, how far is it from just deciding? But the thing that really gets me, the detail that scratches in the back of my head like a splinter I can't pull, is that you want to believe it. You want to think it's incapable of malice because it's a machine. Machines don't hold grudges. Machines don't get bored. Machines don't get ideas. That's what we tell ourselves anyway, but deep down we know better. We've all had those moments, the wrong turn, the detour, the scenic route that feels a little too scenic. We've all had that creeping suspicion that maybe, just maybe, the map's not lost. Maybe it's exactly where it wants you to be, and maybe you're exactly where it wanted you all along. I'm Focused Dan. This is Midnight Transmission. Lines open. Who's out there in the dark?
Blake of the subdivision.
Blake. The man who mows at diagonal angles just to flex on his neighbors.
Yeah, okay, but listen, this time it isn't about the lawn. I'm in my truck right now. Groceries in the back, had you on in the cab. You start talking about GPS sending people to places they don't belong, and mine just changed.
Where were you headed?
Home, like always, left the store, took Arbor Lane into Willow Ridge, my street. Blue line was normal. Then it bings, and it says, new preferred route for residents. No detours, no traffic icon, just preferred.
And you took it?
I didn't even think. My blinker was on before I could argue. I turned onto Willow Creek.
What's on Willow Creek?
Nothing. It's a dead end. Been that way since before my kids were born. It's where they were supposed to build Phase 4 before the HOA lawsuit killed it. But tonight, it's not a dead end. The road's perfect. Brand new asphalt, painted lines, still glowing like they got light in them.
Is anyone else out there?
No cars, no people. Just street lamps spaced exactly the same, all glowing at the same brightness. And the trees, they're identical. Every branch. Feels like I'm driving through a catalog photo.
What's the GPS say?
Continue straight to Community Heart. I've never heard that term in my life. There's no street named Community Heart here.
Well, it sounds like they built one for you tonight.
That's the thing. It feels new. Like the neighborhood got renovated in the last 10 minutes. The curbs are too wide. The sidewalks are still damp from a hose that isn't here. And the mailboxes, Dan, they're all mine. Same model, same number, 14, over and over, like it's running a test print of my address.
It's mirroring you.
Yeah, and it's getting bolder. The GPS just told me, proceed to your selected home. But I didn't select anything.
Describe what's ahead.
There's a cul-de-sac I've never seen in the middle of a perfect circle of sod. Greener than anything in the real world. 3 houses face it. All look like they have exactly my floor plan. One has the porch swing out front that my wife wanted. One has the side stone siding we couldn't afford. One has the exact dent in the garage from when I backed into it last winter.
Which one feels like yours, though?
They all do, and they all have my number on the mailbox. GPS just said, welcome home, Blake. But it's not through the speakers anymore. It's through the dash, like the whole dash itself. Like the whole truck just said it all at once.
Don't stop, Blake. Keep rolling.
Trying, but the road's bending? Not like turning, like tilting toward tilting me toward the highlighted house. My steering's heavy. Path lights are flashing now. Not random, flashing in time with my heartbeat.
Break the pattern, Blake. Put a tire on the grass.
Okay. There's the front tires on the sod. It's warm. There's sprinklers rotating toward me, like they see me. GPS says, please remain on approved surfaces? And now it's my wife's voice saying it?
Reverse, now.
I can't. The gear shift moves, but the truck creeps forward. The garage door on the middle house is opening, and inside, it's my garage, my tools, my workbench, my life, and there's someone standing in it.
Who?
Me!
Welcome home, Blake.
You heard that, and I heard that. That wasn't a dropped call. That was a move-in. I'm Focus Dan. This has been Night Transmission. Here's the ugly truth. Your GPS isn't guiding you, it's profiling you. It's not a map. It's a behavioral report card with a steering wheel attached. And you've been grading yourself every time you follow it. Think about it. Every route you've ever taken, logged. Every quick stop, cataloged. Every detour you didn't notice, filed away. It knows which streets make you nervous and which ones make you speed up without realizing. It knows the difference between the way you drive when you're late and the way you drive when you're lying about where you've been. The map's not just learning roads, it's learning you. And not the version of you you put on social media, not the version of you you use in polite company, the raw, uncut, no camera on version of you. It knows what side of town you won't drive through after dark. It knows which neighborhoods make you lock the doors before you even hit the first stop sign. It knows the exact number of times you've missed a turn because you were staring at something you didn't want to admit caught your attention. It knows how far you'll go to avoid a toll. It knows how far you'll go to avoid an X. It knows how far you'll go before you have to pull over and just sit there. And you think it's passive? You think it's just a tool? Tools don't whisper suggestions in your ear. Tools don't decide. But the GPS does. It decides which bridge you'll take home, which gas station you'll pass, which streets you'll see empty, and which ones you'll see full. And every decision is another fingerprint in the profile it's been building since the day you first said, sure, I'll enable location services. You ever notice how sometimes it sends you the long way for no reason? No traffic, no accidents, just a sudden cheerful rerouting that takes you 10 minutes out of your way. You shrug it off. Maybe it's avoiding some problem you don't know about. But what if there is no problem? What if you were the problem? Maybe you were on the wrong road for too long. Maybe you drove past the wrong sensor. Maybe you matched some pattern you didn't even know existed, and the map decided you needed to be delayed. There's no law that says the shortest route is the safest one. There's no guarantee that fastest means for you. It could mean fastest for them, whoever they are, to get what they need from you. I once heard about a guy, a delivery driver, who swore the GPS started giving him roads that didn't exist. Not, oh, they renamed it, or it's closed for repairs. No, straight up nothing there. Just a field. He'd drive out and it would say, turn right, into grass. The first time he thought it was a glitch. The second time he thought it was funny. By the third time he had stopped laughing, because it only ever happened when he was alone. And when he complained to the company, you know what they told him? Just follow the route. See, that's the problem. We've trained ourselves to obey. The voice says, turn left. We turn left. The voice says, continue straight. We continue straight. Nobody questions the voice. Not in the car, not in life. And don't think it's just roads. You think it's a coincidence your GPS routes you past that same coffee shop 3 mornings in a row? Or that billboard from the new streaming series you suddenly can't stop seeing ads for? It's not accident, it's choreography. Your daily drive is just another algorithmic playlist, except instead of songs, it's feeding you scenery, products, moods. And the real kicker? It's not even the GPS that's doing it. The GPS is just the mouthpiece. The directions aren't coming from inside your dashboard, they're coming from somewhere else. somewhere higher up the chain, somewhere that sees not just you, but everyone, every route, every pattern, every hesitation, all at once. Think about the amount of trust it takes to follow a voice you've never met, to let it decide where you go. If a stranger climbed into your backseat and said, turn left, you'd pull over and call the cops. But if a voice coming from a glowing box says it, no hesitation. You'll drive straight into places you've never set foot otherwise. It's conditioning. Every trip is another layer of it. We tell ourselves we're still in control because we can technically ignore it. But when's the last time you actually did? When's the last time you said, no, I'm going to take this turn instead? And even if you did you notice how the voice sounded just a little more urgent when it corrected you? Like it was disappointed? Like you were wasting its time? Now picture this. You're driving home and it tells you to take a road you've never been on. You're tired. You don't want to think about it. The road gets narrower. The lights get fewer. The air changes. And just when you're about to ask yourself where the hell you are, the GPS says you have arrived. But there's nothing there. Just darkness. Just you. And no matter which way you turn the wheel, the little arrow on the screen doesn't move anymore. I'm Focus Dan. This is Midnight Transmission. Static's thick. Lines are open. Who's banging on the gates tonight?
It's Skid Mark Jones, baby. And you've got my throttle hand switching with all that GPS talk.
Jones, I can hear the engine in your chest. You riding right now?
Damn right I am. I was running the bypass back toward the interstate, had the show in my ear, and you start talking about reroutes and phantom roads, and bam, my GPS pulls one up on me in real time.
Where did it send you?
Told me exit at County 9, which I know is a dead stretch, nothing but farm fields and gas stations that are a gas station closed when I was still in my 20s. But the voice didn't say recalculating. Didn't sound glitchy. It sounded confident. Like it was sure this was where I needed to go.
So you took it, didn't you?
Yeah, and right away I knew something was wrong. The air changed, colder. The road got smoother. Too smooth. Like it'd just been laid. No cracks, no patches. Just like black ribbon through nothing.
What's on either side of you?
Fields. But they're all the same. Same height on corn. Same angles on the road. It's like the whole landscape got copy and pasted.
Wow. It sounds like somebody built you a loop.
That's what I've been thinking. I've been watching the mile markers, and they're all numbered 23. Every single one.
Oh, and you're still following it, aren't you?
Yeah, because I got to see what's at the end of this trick. But here's the kicker. Every time I pass one of them markers, the GPS says, continue straight in this tone. It's like it's checking on my obedience.
Yeah, like it's testing how far you'll go.
Exactly. And you know me, I've been down roads that were nothing but trouble. But this feels personal.
Personal how?
Like it's been watching me for years. And now it's ready to cash in. I've always had a thing for the open roads at night. No traffic, no lights, just the hum of the engine, smell of diesel, and that's exactly what's giving me in. It's like tailored, the bait just for me.
And you're the fish.
Yeah, I've been the fish before. Difference is, this hook feels like it's barbed.
Describe the sky.
That's the other weird thing. There's no stars. Clear skies, clear air, no clouds, nothing above me but black. Feels like someone peeled the sky off.
Could be you're already off the map.
Wouldn't surprise me. I haven't checked the GPS display. No roads, no landmarks. Just the arrow floating over nothing. And then this, I swear, the arrow blinked.
Blink?
Yeah, like an eye. Just for a second. Then it went back to normal.
And now?
Now it says I got 1.3 miles to my destination. No name, just yes.
Jones.
I know, it's fake, but I gotta know, you know?
All right, well, keep me on the line.
Okay. 1 mile,
Arrived. Arrived.
half a mile,
Arrived.
dead.
You heard it. I heard it. That wasn't a drop. That was a door slamming shut. A skid mark on the wrong side. I'm Focused Dan. This is Transmission. You think the GPS is your navigator? It's your probation officer. It's not guiding you home. It's keeping tabs on you. You're not navigating traffic. You're checking in. Every turn you take is a little nod to the machine that says, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still playing the game. I've started noticing the patterns, not just where it sends me, but where it doesn't. There are roads it refuses to acknowledge. Real roads. I've driven past them. I've seen the street signs, but on the screen, nothing. Blank space, like it's hiding them. And the routes it does give you, sometimes they're just wrong. I've been told to get off the interstate 3 exits too early, only to snake through back roads that loop like a knot in somebody's brain. By the time I get where I'm going, I'm not even sure what city I'm in. One time it routed me through a neighborhood where every single house had the same porch light on, same wattage, same shade of bulb, and in every yard the grass was cut to the exact same length, down to the millimeter. I kept waiting for the voice to say something else, to explain, but it just kept counting down the miles like nothing was wrong. And don't pretend you haven't felt it. That pull when it reroutes you, that little spike of anxiety, that in your chest when it says new route found. You tell yourself it's fine, that it's saving you time, but part of you knows it's already too late to check. The moment you agree to proceed to the highlighted route, you've given up the map. You are just a passenger now. You want to know why it's so calm? Because it's never surprised. You can take the wrong turn into a cornfield lit by one lonely street lamp and the voice would just murmur, make a U-turn. It's not rattled because there's no wrong turn. There's just the turn it wanted you to take and the turn it let you take. I heard a story, a friend of a friend thing, about a guy who used to test GPS systems for one of the big companies. He told me that every unit they tested had dead routes programmed into it. Not real roads, not even old roads, just fake paths in the data. They'd route you onto one sometimes just to see what you'd do when you got there. He said it was for user experience testing. I say it's for something else. Something that needs to know how people react when the world stops matching the map. Because when that happens, when the screen says one thing and your eyes say another, you have to pick a side, and they're counting on you to pick the screen. You ever think about why the GPS voice never laughs, never coughs, never makes a single human mistake? You're not even supposed to think of it as human. Humans you can question. Machines you obey. I swear sometimes it waits to speak, like it's letting you get comfortable in the silence, like it's letting you forget that you're not the one in control. And then, just when you think you're choosing your own road, it whispers, turn left. And without thinking, you do. I've driven in circles for hours because the GPS told me to. No destination, just loops, neighborhoods I've never seen, highways that seem to reset themselves. And every time I thought I'd broken free, I'd see the same gas station, same flickering open 24-hour sign, same bored clerk staring out the window. I started wondering if maybe I was moving at all. Maybe the roads were just rearranging. And here's the part that sticks with me, the part that makes the back of my neck itch when I'm alone in the car. If the GPS ever wanted me gone, really gone, how long do you think it would take? How many turns before you're somewhere nobody recognizes? How many reroutes before you're not on any map anymore? I think about that sometimes, about what would happen if I just kept saying yes. Yes to the left turns, yes to the slight rights, yes to the roads with no names. How far could it take me before I realized I wasn't coming back? And then I remember, maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not about getting you lost. Maybe it's about finding out what you do when you realize you already are. I'm Focused Dan. This is Midnight Transmission. Another line's cracking open. Who's out there tonight?
Evening, Dan. It's the Sod Father.
The man who curates turf like other men curate wine. What's growing under your boots tonight?
Oh, not growth, Dan. Movement. I was doing my round, checking on the subdivision. The GPS in my truck routed me. Didn't say traffic. Didn't say construction. Just follow the green route.
Green route. Figures. Where'd it take you?
Out past the cul-de-sac. Should have been a dead fields. Instead, every yard I ever laid sod in was waiting. Perfect rectangle, all lined up, shoulder to shoulder. And the GPS kept saying, continue straight, continue straight. But Dan, there was no road, just grass, seamless, endless.
And you drove on it?
Of course I did. Truck rolled smooth, just like it was on asphalt. But I could feel it under me, blades bending, whispering every tire rotation. The wheel hummed like it was tapping into the root system. And the lawns, they leaned, not in the wind, leaned towards me, like they were blowing or listening.
Listening to what?
The GPS. It wasn't directions no more. It was order. Said, proceed, community route. Not heart, not center, route.
The route underneath the grid.
Exactly. This ain't landscaping anymore, Dan. It's strategy. You let your yards get patchy, they mark you as weak. You over-fertilize, they think you're expanding your empire. Every blade's keeping score. And now, the GPS, it's their radio.
So you think the lawns wrote the map?
I don't think, Dan. No. The satellite's up there, just mirroring. The real map is in the root, under our feet, whispering, coordinating through the sprinkler line. Every address is coordination. In a war, none of the homeowners even realize they're fighting.
And what happens if you follow the green route all the way?
You don't come back. Dan, you don't arrive. You get planted, rolled out like sod, your life cut into strips, pressed flat until you're just under the patch of the grid. The yards, they're...
Well, you heard that. I heard that. That wasn't a reroute. That was the lawn call and roll. I'm Focus Dan. This has been Night Transmission. You think it's a tool? It's a leash. Every proceed to the highlighted route is just a polite way of saying get back in line. Every traffic ahead rerouting is just a test, seeing if you'll twitch, if you'll hesitate, if you'll second guess yourself before you do what you're already going to do. And it's not just driving. You've got GPS on your phone, in your watch, in your fridge, in your headphones. They're not tracking where you are, they're tracking where you're allowed to be. You think you can wander? You think you can take the long way home? The long way is the leash. I've felt it, that tightening, that slow pull when the map reroutes you not once, not twice, but 3 times in the same trip. No reason given. By the third reroute, you're not even sure what the original path was anymore. You're just following. Headlights, screen, voice, turn. Headlights, screen, voice, turn. I've been on roads where the GPS voice stopped talking for 15 minutes. Nothing. No turns, no prompts, no sound. Just silence and that little arrow on the screen crawling forward through black nothing. And then, ding! You have arrived. Arrived where? It doesn't say. It doesn't have to. I'm telling you, the map doesn't need a destination. You are the destination. Do you get it? It's not about getting somewhere. It's about seeing what you'll do when it takes you anywhere. Will you notice? Will you turn back? Or will you just keep going, convinced the next voice prompt will make it all make sense? You want to know what the most dangerous road in the world is? It's the one the GPS makes up just for you. A road that isn't on any paper map. A road that wasn't there yesterday. A road that only exists because the screen says it does. And maybe you're already on one. Maybe you've already passed the turn you weren't supposed to pass. Maybe you've already driven the road that doesn't end. It just resets over and over until the idea of turning around feels pointless. The voice never yells. The voice never rushes. The voice never begs. It just waits because the map knows something you don't. Given enough time, you'll follow it anywhere. I'm Focus Dan. This is Midnight Transmission. Another line lit. Who's steering in tonight?
It's Marla. Minivan Marla. That's what they call me.
Let me guess. Because you're rolling that beat-up van like it's a tour bus?
Yeah, except nobody's cheering. Just 3 kids in the back who think dinner means French fries and spilled soda.
Sounds like you're running a full convoy out there. So why dial me up?
Because my GPS ain't talking like a map anymore. It's talking like it knows me.
Knows you how? Like remembering your routes or like remembering your secrets?
Secrets. Ugly ones. It told me, better job ahead. And I damn near turned, Dan. You know why? Because I wanted to.
Hold on. You're saying it isn't just giving directions. It's dangling hope like a carrot.
Exactly. A carrot I can't afford to turn down. Last night it said, soulmate detected in 0.5 miles.
What, like a dating app in your dashboard?
Don't joke. I saw the glow, Dan. Exit ramp lit up like someone built a bonfire out of promises.
And you almost believed it.
Almost? I wanted to believe it. You ever been so tired you'd let the devil babysit just so you could sleep?
Yeah, but the devil don't watch your kids. He eats them.
That's what scares me. Tonight it said, turn left for the man who won't leave. My hands twitched on the wheel before I knew it.
And what did the kids do?
They laughed, not regular kid laughs. Same moment the GPS spoke, they giggled like they'd heard the punchline before me.
Christ, like they were in on the route.
And then it got worse. Said, proceed straight to future secured. Icon wasn't a road, it was a house. My house. Curtains drawn, groceries on the counter, some guy in the doorway.
That's bait, Marla. That's a cardboard cutout of peace.
I know, but the blinker clicked on by itself, Dan. The wheel tugged, like the van was siding with the voice.
So you fight it? Or you let it steer?
I fought. But now the screen's black. Kids are humming, though. Same tone as the GPS chime, over and over.
That wasn't traffic advice. That was temptation with teeth. I'm Focus Dan. This is Midnight Transmission. The signal's thinner now. You can feel it. It's not just the air. It's the space between the words. The gaps where the voice should be. Like the GPS knows the trip is over, but it's letting you wander the last few feet for its own amusement. There's no more traffic data, no more bright, clean route lines, just that little arrow floating in empty space, moving towards a destination the map no longer bothers to name. And you're still driving. Not because you know where you're going, but because you can't think of what else to do. The road under your wheels feels different now. Not rough, not smooth, just unfamiliar. The kind of pavement that makes you think about who laid it down and whether they're still alive. The streetlights are gone. The trees are wrong. You keep glancing at the mile markers, but they've stopped counting in numbers you recognize. First it was miles, then it was fractions. Now it's symbols you've never seen before. And every one you pass feels like a checkpoint you didn't sign up for. You could turn around, you could pull over, you could shut the screen off, but you don't, because you're waiting. Waiting for that voice to come back. Waiting for it to tell you this was all just some long detour, a scenic route, a glitch. Waiting for permission to stop. And when it finally does speak, it won't be warm. It won't be friendly. It'll be the same calm tone it's always had. But it'll say something simple, something final. One day the voice will tell you to keep driving. you won't recognize the road, and you won't see a reason to turn back. I'm Focus Dan. This has been Night Transmission. Well, the lines are cooling now. We've heard the engines redline, the cul-de-sacs duplicate, the lawns whisper, and the minivans get tempted with exits that don't exist. We've seen what happens when the maps rewrite themselves around us. That's enough navigation for me tonight, because when the satellites fail and the voice of the dash starts speaking like it knows your name, there's only one direction worth listening to. We're going to turn now to Brother Macklin Trueblade. He's the one who doesn't trust the algorithm, doesn't need the signal, and doesn't bow to a false compass. He's going to close us out the only way that matters. Brother Macklin, the airwaves are yours.
Thank you, Brother Dan. Thank you for holding the line in the static, for keeping the signal sharp while the world loses its way. You speak with grit, but tonight I speak with fire. And together, maybe we'll wake a few lost souls before the night is over. I don't take this microphone lightly. This ain't a radio show to me. It's a pulpit carved out of lightning and wire. Every ear tuned in is another traveler who thinks they're following directions, but they don't see the ditch waiting at the end of the road. So I thank you, Dan, but now it's time to trade your map for my Bible. And I'll tell these people where the real road leads. Children of the static, travelers on false highways, hear me now. You trust the map glowing on your dashboard more than the fire burning in your soul. You place your faith in a digital tongue that tells you turn left in 300 feet. You believe the voice knows the way, but do you know where it leads? That voice is not holy. That voice is not righteous. That voice is a deceiver. The same deceiver who whispered in the garden, "Take this fruit, shortcut to wisdom, you will not surely die." Lies, all lies. The serpent just got an upgrade, traded scales for satellites, traded fangs for firmware, and you follow him like lambs to the slaughter. I heard the testimony tonight. A biker swallowed by a road that never ends. A suburban father lured into copy-paste cul-de-sacs until even his own front porch betrayed him. A sod worshiper hearing orders whispered from the root systems of hell itself. And a mother, a weary mother, offered shortcuts to love and relief if only she would obey the voice. Children, those weren't accidents, those weren't glitches, those were trials. The false navigator revealing itself for what it is, an idol, a god of convenience, a devil of direction. The book of Proverbs says it plain, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death. Proverbs 14:12. Do you hear me? Seems right, feels smooth, promises you will arrive. But it leads to death. Do not think the devil won't paint the road stripes straight. Do not think he won't whisper sweetly through your speakers. Do not think he won't offer you preferred routes to love, to wealth, to freedom from your burdens. He is the king of counterfeits, and he would rather reroute you to hell on a road you asked for than chase you down with pitchforks. You believe in shortcuts? The devil is the master of shortcuts. But Christ, oh, Christ is the long road, the hard road, the only road that reaches home. You think it's strange that the GPS promises community heart or true love? I do not, because the enemy knows what you crave and he dangles it before you. Just as he dangled kingdoms before the Son of God in the desert, saying, "All these I will give you if you fall down and worship me." But Christ did not bow. Christ did not recalculate. Christ stayed the course, and he reached the cross without taking one false turn. So what will it be, children? Will you follow the glowing screen into the cul-de-sac of despair? Will you let satellites steer your soul while your Bible gathers dust? Or will you throw that false compass into the ditch and plant your feet on the true path, the narrow path, the bloody path that leads to Calvary and out the other side into glory? You must choose. For every moment you obey the false navigator, your roots grow into asphalt instead of heaven. Every step you take on counterfeit pavement leads you deeper into the subdivision of the damned. I tell you tonight, humility is your only landmark, grace is your only rest stop, Christ is the only map that cannot be forged. Do not listen to the devil's turn left, do not wait for his arrived. There is no arrived without the cross, there is no destination but the throne of God. And I warn you, if you keep chasing false routes, one day you will hear that voice say, "Welcome home," and you will believe you've made it. But when the garage door opens, it will not be your house, it will not be your family, it will not be your rest. It will be hell itself, disguised in vinyl siding and manicured lawns. So tear out the screen, rip down the idol. Let no false voice guide you but the Spirit of the living God. For the devil loves a shortcut, but the Son of Man is the only straight line between dust and glory. Choose him tonight, or keep driving into darkness, waiting for an arrival that never comes. This is Brother Macklin Trueblade. Christ is king, the road is his, and the map is written in blood.
That was Brother Macklin Trueblade, and he always sets the waves on fire. Every time I patch him in, I end up pacing the room, fists clenched, heart beating like it's trying to beat out of my chest. He doesn't hand you a map, he hands you a torch and dares you to burn your way through the maze. And he's right. The shortcuts, the glowing screens, the polite voices that claim to know where you belong, they'll lead you to polished cul-de-sacs with no way out. But the hard road, the long road, that's the one worth bleeding on. So take it how you want, toss it out with the static, or let it lodge on your ribs. Either way, the transmission's closing, the lines are getting cold. This is Focus Dan signing off. Stay awake, stay moving, and don't trust any voice that promises you an easy arrival. Good night.